CEO of Ranger Apparel Export Private Limited, Bangalore, since August 2020. Earlier, Mr. Vishy was with ITC Limited for good 20 years and was with Arvind Mills Garment Business Division for 3 years. So with 25 years of experience in the apparel industry, he's been actively involved in manufacturing, technical, quality, sourcing, and key supply chain products for domestic and export market, representing both brands and suppliers' perspective. Over to you, Mr. Vishy. Would you like to share some thoughts for the viewers?
Sure. Thank you, Sanju. I think firstly, I'd like to thank BSL and AEPC organizing this web seminar and inviting me to participate in the discussion. Sanju, I think most of us, we know the kind of the challenges what apparel fashion supply chain or the business is going through for a few years. Post-pandemic and as well as the recent development, geopolitical developments and as well as the macroeconomic developments only heightened these challenges. If you see it from primarily from demand side, from brand side, brands record more flexibility from suppliers. Correct. I think they wanted shorter lead times, they wanted in lower MOQs and differentiated product in addition to cost, quality and on-time delivery, which is the given phenomenon. In the nutshell, if you try to look forward, they wanted value-added supply chain partner in terms of merely as a supplier, anything that helps them to maximize their full value sell-through while minimizing consumer discounting and product obsolescence. This is one side. On the other side, from supply side, manufacturers caught between the dilemma of the non-linear relationship between price realization from the brands, vice versa, the operating cost escalation almost in all the areas. I think this dynamics record certain amount of suitable counter solution. I think digitalization and automation is certainly one of that. I think it's only a matter of fact of the time before it takes the prominent dominance, and it's a good APC and BSL organizers the discussion taking it forward.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vishy. So our first, question for you is how digitalization and automation are transforming, as we all know that, it's transforming the automation industry or pharmaceutical industry or electronic industry at a very, high speed. What do you think about apparel industry is really geared up for DNA, and especially your thoughts, regarding the manufacturing perspective and this make ways? What do you think about it? Is the industry really geared up for it?
So I think if you're seeing about quite a long time, generally there is a certain amount of belief. Things like on fashion industry where everything is records flexible, changing every day, there is a limited amount of the scope for technology and automation. But if you see about in the last 10, 15 years, the kind of digitalization and automation in our day-to-day life, the kind of the changes which have been brought, I think certainly it will be becoming an eye-opener for most of the people, most of the industry, industries as well. But on the other side, today, let us see some of the reality what we face. Consistent supply of skilled labor force is the challenge. Certainly, we cannot, rising inflation is another side challenge. High rising from the demand in terms of product quality is another kind of the challenge. How are you going to get it addressed? So certainly there was a huge amount of realization from the industry. It is a time in order to take the bold move to step forward to go for digitalization and automation. Most of the company which have been realized, a lot of company has taken initiatives in this side as well. In my view, the industry is in correct path. Only acceleration is required to leverage its full potential and realize the potential at the earliest. So I think that is the realization. It's only a matter of fact of time before this industry completely adopts digitalization and automation for its own good, and all the stakeholders will get the benefit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vishy. So I think Rahul also mentioned it's the mindset, and it's about how people are ready. So again, the technology is really there, but it's about how we and at what rate do we really adopt. So thank you so much for those insights. So I understand that you have implemented automation and digitization in your current role, as well as in your previous roles. So what are the areas that you feel that have been benefited, and what are some of the opportunities and the challenges that you have faced during the implementation?
Sanju, I will structure my reply in two phases. One, I will try to put it in terms of process automation. Generally, it happens in every sub-stage of manufacturing to de-skill the operator, to bring consistency, and also to make the things faster. That is one side of the game, where generally we know that one right from the raw material receipt till to the government delivery. At every stages of manufacturing, we automate the process. Correct. Whether it's going to be a smart warehousing solution, or it's going to be an auto cutter, or it's going to be a pinning solution, or it's going to be certain number of conveyor and stacker for fusing machines. All those process which de-skills the operator in order to move on. I think that considerable amount of technology which is already available. When it move into a subsequent in terms of main process of sewing operations, most of the non-sewing operations, anything which it forms shape or free-forming creasing, precise marking or trimming the additional margin, most of the process can be automated. I think industry has been done quite a bit of benefit in this particular area as well. And again, in the component preparation, the level of specialized sewing workstation, it can bring it to the benefit. It's a numerous industry already have been witnessed, but quite long it can go, except the fact in assembly, it has certain amount of limitation. In my view, the finishing is another area where automation it can play the more role, both in terms of pressing, folding, and even in terms of automated transportation system, where always it has been considered visibility the major challenge in finishing it was the bottleneck. This is one part of that area. There were a lot amount of the work which already has been taken place. I think industry witnessed. It would have been relatively a lower in terms of countries like in India, but I'm quite sure people will have today visibility across the globe in terms of the kind of the technology that it can bring in. The other side of the area, what I see is saying that digitization of the information flow, that is starts from right from customer inquiry till in terms of delivery of the merchandise to the brands, the entire value chain, the information flow with a localized as well as across the function, across the organization is the huge. And apparel companies generally generate tons and tons of information. At every stage to capturing this information manually, organizing, analyzing, and coming with meaningful interface and timely action, it's a robust task. It's laborious, it time consuming. Most of us, we lost it all. In that particular case, digitization across the entire value chain to capture, integrate, analyze, and come back with certain amount of intelligent, actionable mechanism, which has been played a critical role. I think that has been today more and more companies are adopting. I'm quite sure this not only within an organization, but also expand their scope to integrate with suppliers and as well as the brands as well, which will bring more collaborative approach, visibility and transparency, which makes everybody's life simpler, eliminates duplication of the work. Everybody speaks about the same language. And the decision making can be more optimistic, more algorithms, more mathematical solutions that can come. That's what system can bring in. I think that is another area which I see about the lot amount of solutions it can do. When it comes to the implementation and as well as the challenges what we will face, initially you know that one people will get afraid of when it comes something is going to the kind of the people who's involved, the way how it's going to change their life. But I think that is the place what management can play the key role in terms of giving the confidence, the initial phase of training, allowing the people to self-learning and certain amount of easy interfaces and every small success in order to celebrate and showcase to the others and get inspired them to adopt will play the key role in order to the whole stakeholders realizing the benefits.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Vishy, for articulating it so well and helping us understand what the challenges, what the opportunities are in the area of manufacturing. As you know that apparel industry is, and we all know that, it's very highly labor oriented. At what stages do you think manufacturers can look at investing into simple technology? So what really are the low-hanging fruits? And the other stages where significant automation can be implemented with a reasonable payback period? What are your thoughts about some of
I think Sanju is extremely a good question, because I will tell you, because choosing the correct technology for each manufacturing facility based on the product category they will operate and where the organization is forced to adopt is very, very critical. And hence, if you're asking me any new manufacturing facility they are planning to set up, if they can choose the correct technology from day one, the transformation takes place, it will become easier to adopt. But when already the organization which is operating upon something, you have to de-learn, and again you have to do the things. I think you have to choose very, very selectively. In the areas, as I told you, if you are asking about in terms of software planning tools, in terms of real-time monitoring system in the soft flow, any intelligent tools in terms of raw material, ordering it and utilization, and creating a quality monitoring real time and give any automated solution where the self-learning can take place. Standardized method, it can be across all the workplaces. And also you can integrate with your suppliers and other things is the best area in order to move on. If you're asking for the organization which already have been operational, I will tell it's easier in the manufacturing, small non-sewing operation automates, see the benefit and go forward in terms of simple workstation in the component preparation, go for a certain amount of transport system which can make the non-value-adding activity eliminated and give certain amount of inventory management easier. Those are the areas what you can look for immediately. And subsequently, you can go for de-skilling, very complicated operation with the sensors, certain amount of proofreading method, those kind of things you can do it in stage 2. When it comes to payback period, yes, I think that is always the dilemma most of the companies in our country faces. I do agree. But when it comes to the process automation, my view saying that anything between 4 to 6 years is the period what it looks like that more feasible, because nowadays a lot amount of European and as well as Asian manufacturers comes with certain amount of alternative solutions which can be adoptable. When otherwise, if it comes to digitization, India is a hub, and you know that one that is the various level of solutions are being available. You can pick and choose. That can be there anything between 1 to 3 years. You can get the payback period, anything on digitalization.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vishy. I would request to play the video which Mr. Vishy has requested. Can you do that, please?
These are only the few examples which I was trying to give it, Sanju. Maybe an idea how to run through the video, few areas it can be done. These are more like a planning tool.
Thanks for that. So there are some common notions that automation is expensive. So what are your thoughts, and what are some of the baby steps for automation with factories that they can take to enhance productivity in the area of cutting, sewing, finishing, and inspection? I know we saw this video, and I thought you'd be able to elaborate more on this. Thank you.
Sanju, I think, yes, any heavy investment to making it in this process is always a tough decision. But again, it depending upon the kind of utilization, what it can bring. Maximum you utilize this automates, your payback period will become a little better. In my view, the kind of the double shift operation or triple shift operation for these kind of the automats, countries like in India, it makes this investment economically feasible. As I was mentioning in the earlier part, if you are coming to in the cutting, certainly spreading and cutting solutions, spinning solutions, and as well as the fusing conveyors and as well as the packing mechanism are the few ones certainly the companies can easily look for and can able to get the benefit out of. Component preparation, non-sewing operation, literally everything you can able to automate. It not only record very hi-fi automats, you can able to also develop a localized certain amount of engineered intervention. You can make it locally also, which can able to completely eliminate your non-sewing operation more precisely. When it comes to a certain amount of the sewing operations, you do have much alternatives are available. Lot amount of OEMs coming with cheaper versions. We can choose the kind of automation you wanted, whether you wanted fixed automation, you want flexible automation, programmable automation, or even you wanted in the later process certain amount of integrated automation you like to have. It's only on your choice in order to making it out. And the last part, I think I suggest the kind of the manual handling, material handling, automatic material handling systems, and as well as in terms of real-time monitoring system in the production floor, and as well as certain amount of software intelligence system which can analyze and can throw you the data in real fact. And later part, it can be on predictive management rather than even addressing the problem on the postmortem. Those are the areas, certainly the huge amount of the scope.
Those providing us with simple solutions as well. I mean, we can use simple solutions as well to have, to move towards a step of automation. As I saw your video, it's another question that crops up. Where do we stand in terms of integration? What I mean is the digital output of one area integrated to become the input of the next phase, so that the entire process is really digitized, and that the data is real time and not obsolete or lost, and is not human dependent. So, when you shared all those, how different softwares are being used, are they truly integrated in the entire chain? Is what my thoughts are.
Sanju, I think yes, a few years back, this used to be one of the major challenges because each software, it works in one isolation. And without coordinated effort, you cannot even get the complete benefit out of that. I think that is the reality. But my view says that both the solution providers and as well as OEM realizes that in the recent solutions that is coming into the market, majority of the things which comes more user-friendly, and also it comes with easy API. It is evolved to a certain extent evolved. I'm quite sure in the coming days, this issue will be completely get addressed, and end-to-end integration right from the stage 1 to stage end will be well integrated to digitalization. It's already evolved, and maybe a few more couple of years from now, we will not face this kind of the interface issue at all, the kind of the technology that is today taking place.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vishy, and thank you so much for giving all your insights, your feedback,